From here, it's less than 100 kilometers to Afghanistan. The Silk Road Express is now heading west again. Everyone has their own way to pass the time. Of course, food is also important on such a long trip, and it's served at their seats. Like everywhere in the country, the national dish pilaf is on the menu. Rice with carrots and meat cooked on a coal stove.
The sun and the stove push the temperature in here up over 60 degrees Celsius. It's really hard to cook in such heat.
Uzbek cuisine is full of meat. Here, mutton goes with everything.
The guests mainly want to eat pilaf or meat skewers, and God willing I'll have enough to satisfy them all.
The train is now entering the next famous city, Bukhara. The oasis of Bukhara is said to have been inhabited as early as 500 BC. It was once famously rich and one of the most important stops on the Silk Road. Bukhara lies some 2,800 kilometers northeast of Jerusalem. Yet it's home to one of the oldest Jewish communities in the world. Daniel Matatov, son of the old rabbi, is a watchmaker here in Bukhara. He's rented 1 square meter from a small travel agency to carry out his business.
We've been watchmakers for generations. My grandfather, my father, my brothers, me, and also my son. When my grandfather lived here, the Jewish community was huge. But as time went by, it became smaller and smaller.
Every day at 6 o'clock sharp, the 53-year-old closes his store and heads home. The first Jews from this ancient community are said to have settled here after the Babylonian captivity, around 500 BC. Even 100 years ago, the Jewish community contained more than 25,000 members. Today, Daniel and his wife Lyubov and about 150 others make up the last Jews in the city.
Well, how was your day?
How was yours?
Quite good. Our future, like that of our children, lies in Israel. What kind of life would that be, alone, without our children? We have to go where they and our grandchildren are, even though it will be very sad to leave this wonderful house behind.
After her father-in-law, the old rabbi, died, the 49-year-old and her husband took care of the synagogue just across the street. Today, community members are preparing a memorial service for the dead.
We want to remember my mother-in-law today. Her name was Anova Maria, and she died in the USA at the age of 90 and was buried there. Every year we hold this Memorial Day here in her honor.
A community member has agreed to read, and it will all be streamed live for relatives in the US. He is the chazan, the cantor, and has no training. Everyone around this table wants to leave the country in the next few years, mainly for economic reasons. for Israel or the US. There they can easily get a residence permit.
Even if I leave Bukhara, I won't forget our traditions. I carry them deep in my heart, and I will continue to live the life of a Bukhara Jew everywhere. It is simply in me, and I will pass on everything I know to my children and grandchildren.
It seems that the 2,500-year-old history of the Bukhara Jews is about to come to an end. A religion that was indigenous here for over 1,000 years before Islam came. By the early hours of the morning, the Silk Road Express has reached the edge of the Kizilkum, Uzbekistan's Great Desert.
My father used to tell me how hard the work was, especially on long-distance trips. The sun shone so strongly on the metal roof of the locomotive that it became unbearably hot for the driver. Today it looks completely different. The driver's cab is comfortable, and we even have air conditioning.
Unfortunately for those in the carriages, there's no air conditioning. Everyone tries to cool down in their own way. Despite the heat, the most important thing in every Uzbek train car remains the tea kettle.
For our people, hot tea on a hot day is the most normal thing in the world.
I've already taken off my shirt because of the heat. With a good working ventilation system, it would be more bearable here. But one rule still applies. If you drink cold water, you sweat more. If you drink hot tea, you sweat less.
Kizilkum means red sand. The enormous desert stretches from the Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan through Uzbekistan to Kazakhstan.